Well, hello there, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're safe and well. While I've still got the 2.2 barrel on my BRK Ghost, in this video I'm going to be doing some 2.2 pellet testing. So let's roll the titles. So if you watched one of my recent videos, I'll stick the one up here, it's this one up here, where I was shooting in the UK 2.2 championships. You'll know that I put the 2.2 barrel on the BRK Ghost. As you'll see, it's still got the longer shroud on, so it's currently the Ghost Plus in 2.2. And you'll know that I chose the didn't do any pellet testing. I just chose the pellets that I had the most of, which were the JSB Exact Jumbos, which are 15.89 grain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some pellet testing to see whether I've got a few tins of different 2.2 pellets that I bought when I had the Artemis P15, when I did some pellet testing for that. Just jumping in here then with a quick sort of impromptu product review. Just after I started filming this video for 2.2 pellet testing, I got an email from Alex at Cube 3D asking me whether I had a storage box for my magazines for my BRK Ghost, and if not, would I like one? And he very kindly sent me this box for my 3 magazines, because I've got 2 177 magazines and 1 2.2 mag. Also sent me a really nice pellet box, and also a box of colour swatches of the different colours that they do in their 3D printing. So let's have a closer look, shall we? Let's take a closer look at these Cube 3D boxes then. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I unpack them, I mean, I've done a bit of 3D printing, is what a smooth finish there is on these boxes. And I know from trying to set up a 3D printer myself, that's you know, it's difficult to get that sort of finish. You can see, look, proper screws in the hinges there, double magnets to close them up. This is the magazine box. I've got it the right way up. Just slot your magazines in, and they're kept nice and securely. As well as magazine boxes, they do boxes that take your magazines and your accessories, like your recharging probe as well. So that's the magazine box. Let's have a look at the again, the nice smooth finish for the pellet box. You know, plenty of room for a tin of pellets in there, and these are 2.2 pellets as well, and they fit quite well. You know, double magnets, so you know, that's not going to accidentally fly open in your bag. And then let's look at the colours that you can get. Then this is a bigger pellet box with all the colour swatches, and you can see here I've arranged them in order of the spectrum. So you've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, substituted pink for indigo, and then violet or purple, and then you've got white, grey, black. So that's the colour choices then. And again, even these swatches are really, you know, well printed. So with their the little logo on them. So if you're interested, you can take a look at their website at cube3d.co.uk. And I'll show you here. You can see they've got a vast selection of boxes. Looks like, you know, they've got boxes to fit most magazines and field probes that are on the market, all listed by rifle manufacturer. And they're also available on eBay as well, so it seems. So if you fancy one of these boxes, go and check them out. That's Cube 3D, Cube with a K, at cube3d.co.uk. So I thought I'd go through what I've got, see if there's a better performing pellet than the Jumbo, and then set the rifle up. I'll take me tiny CV Life LPVO scope, which is amazing little scope, fabulous little scope. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put the NV500 digital day scope back on, and then we're going to zero that up and set the ballistic calculator up already so that I can give it a go out on the rabbits. So what have I got in the way of 2.2 pellets then? Well, first off, I've got some 14.3 grain Accupels. I've got the 15.89 H&N Baracuda 15s and the 18.13 H&N Baracuda 18s. I've got the Baracuda Hunters H&N, which are in, what are they? They are 18.28 grain. I've got a few, not very many, but I've got a few 15.89 Hades. And then I've got some sample packs that I bought. Still got a few pellets left in those. So what have I got? 15s, got a tin of 15s. That's not a problem. Crossman Premier Ultra Magnums and air arms. I don't know what weight they are. I'll have to put them on the scales, but they're 5.52 head size. So that's all the pellets. We're just going to do a quick down and dirty sort of test, really, using whatever I've got. And see if anything is better than the Jumbos, because they seem to be quite good. So let's get out on the garden range while the weather's good for a change. No rain today, and see how we get on, shall we? Here we are then. Nice calm evening out on the range. No rain, clear blue sky. So got to take the opportunities while you can. So I'm using the magazine. If you remember, if you've seen the 2.2 championship video, you know that I had a problem with the magazine. Well, I've used a bit of purple Loctite on it, on the screw, tightened it down enough so that the magazine still rotates freely, and I left it overnight. So hopefully we'll see how we get on with it, and hopefully I don't have any problems with it. I've got our target out, got a camera down on the target, probably going to shoot two 5 pellet groups, might even put 6 through because I think it's 11 pellets in the magazine. So we're starting off with the Jumbos, see how we get on. Forgot to mention, shooting at 25 yards. Haven't re-zeroed the gun since competition. It went back in the box and just pulled it out of the box, not bothered to re-zero it. So we're shooting it as is. So that's JSB's done then, from what I can see. Not too bad. Next to the Accupels then. These are only 14.3 grain, so a little bit lighter than the others, so I expect these to probably be a little bit higher in the target, we'll see. That's the Accupels then, don't look too bad from this end. Next to the Hades then, last few in the tin. I think these must have gone shaken about a bit over time because the skirts are not, I mean they're not super distorted, but the skirts are not great on these, but same weight as the Jumbos, so I'll give these ones a go. That's the last one. That's the last one. Yep. Next are the H&N Baracuda 18s. Load it up. Well, they were pretty good. Now they're supposed to be, oh yeah, they're quite a bit heavy at 18.13 grain, so that's why they dropped a little bit lower. But they seem to group okay. Let's move on. Next is the H&N Baracuda 15s then, same weight as the Jumbos. Did notice on these the skirts look a bit scrappy, no significant dents, but certainly not smooth around the edges, which is a bit of a surprise because you usually expect H&N to be sort of like, you know, quality on the money. It's a harder lead, and the skirts are usually a little bit thicker than the JSBs, but we'll see how they shoot. Don't think it likes them much. That's strange, isn't it? Next is the H&N Baracuda Hunter. These are 18.21 grain, so slightly lighter than the Jumbos, but certainly heavier than the Accupells. These are the hollow point pellets. I must say, loading them up, they look very clean and neat and tidy, no damage at all, so we'll see how they shoot. A bit tight, load in there. Oh, they're very tight in the breech, they are, when you push the thing forward. Whoa. Let me just check my pressure, air pressure. Yeah, air pressure's okay. Now, shooting all over the place, they're really low. I'll try one more of those. I might actually have to give up on those. Yeah, that's very, you can feel it. It's not smooth going in the breech at all. Yeah, they're, wow. That's not right, is it? Okay, I'm not gonna continue with those. No point really. I'm gonna have to go and mark where those pellet holes are so it doesn't mix up with the later pellets. So we'll bin those, shall we? Okay, penultimate then, the air arms. Did weigh these on the scales, and they weigh the same as the Jumbos, which I would expect them to be the same as those, so they were 15.8s. So we'll see where I get on with those. These, hopefully they're better than those Hunters. Lost count. I'm going to assume that's 5. I'll put 5 in the next one, and if there's one left, I'll come back. Five. Go back to the other one just in case. Oh. No, we were right. It was 5 in the first one. Okay, they didn't seem so bad. Right, last but not least then, the Crossman Premier Ultra Magnums. Don't know the weight of these, I need to put them on the scales. Look very tidy, clean pellets actually. Very similar to the Accupells, so I don't know if they're the same, we'll see. See how they shoot anyway.
what I'm going to do is going to drop a line actually and come down away from those hunter pellet holes. So I'm going to be on the 1, 2, 3, 4th row down. Well, they were okay, weren't they? So I think that's it. Yep, B-cut rifle, safety on. So let's go and grab the target, have a quick look at the target.
Here's the 25-yard target then. Just before we take a look at this, one thing that's been on my mind actually is when I do all these the shooting on for these videos, what you see is me start and finish of the session. So I don't go out and shoot a load of pellets and get warmed up before we start shooting. And I think that may be why sometimes, you know, when I first start, things like here, if you see here, this first group of the JSB Jumbos compared to the second group is a little bit ragged. Perhaps it's because it takes me, you know, 3 or 4 shots to get my eye in or whatever. So I don't know, perhaps I need to think about warming up with just sort of a bit of general shooting before I do these tests. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. But anyway, starting off then, so this is our test set then, using the JSBs. As you can see, a little bit raggedy there, not too bad a group in there. Moving down to the Accupells then. I was quite surprised with these actually, because I wasn't expecting much from them at all, because certainly as far as the 177 pellets go, I've never had any luck with them. But these look pretty good. I mean, there was a flyer there, so if you ignore that flyer there, you've got a nice little group there, little group here. I would say it's easily on a par. You could even argue that it's slightly better than the JSBs. You know, these are worth a second look. The Hades, I know people like these Hades and they say they're great. I've never had much luck with them. As you can see, I guess, you know, a little bit raggedy there, but nowhere near as good as the first 2 sets. Then let's move up down to the 18s. Quite a good group in there, definitely worth a further look with the 18s. Go to the 15s, and again we're getting a bit raggedy like the Hades, which is quite a surprise really when you know, compare the H&N 18s with the 15s. Not surprised that the groups dropped below the target there, obviously because of the weight difference. But yeah, so the 18s are worth a second go. 15s, no, I think we'll bench the 15s. Then moving up here to the air arms, coming out the same factory as the JSBs, 2 raggedy groups, not as good as the JSBs. So I think we'll kick them into touch. Oh yeah, I missed the Hunter. Well, you can see here, look, where the shots came from the Hunters. You know, they were a very tight fit. The gun didn't seem to like them at all, so it really wasn't worth continuing with them. And then we come down to these Crossmans, which again, quite a nice group. Now, what's interesting is if you compare the Crossmans to the Accupell, they're both the same weight pellets. They both look very similar, so I'm pretty certain that they're probably made in the same factory. I don't know that for sure, but they're both 14.3 grain, which is a bit of a weird weight. So, you know, it's a bit of a coincidence that they're the same weight, and they do look shape-wise, and you know, the skirts and the inside of the skirts and everything. So again, they're worth a look. So what I'm going to do is we're going to stretch this. I wasn't planning to do this, but what I'll do is going to stretch out to 35 yards, see if the groups open out a bit, and we're going to shoot these 4 pellets: the JSBs, the Accupells, the 18s, and the Crossman, and see what we get at 35 yards.
Okay, we're off pellet 2-2 pellet testing session 2 then. We're out at 35 yards on the garden range. Put similar target up to what we used before.
we've got our 4 sets of chosen pellets. I've done something slightly different this time. I've just taken sort of 10 warm-up shots. I'm still using my tiny LPVO scope, so I'm on 6x mag, so it's a bit of a challenge. And because it's 35 yards, I'm using the first mark down below the floating dot, so as my aim point because of the pellet drop. So don't expect super accuracy. We're looking at groupings. So we're starting off with the JSB Jumbos then. I've got a camera down range to record the targets, so let's crack on, see how we do, shall we? Bit of a flyer there. Another flyer. Not a bad group then. Back with the Accupells then. Oh, that was a flyer there. I don't think that was me. Well, they've opened out a bit with another 10 yards, haven't they? Don't look so good at 35 yards. Well, not from where I'm looking anyway, but we'll check afterwards. Baracuda 18 time then. Well, that's the Barra 18s. And last but not least is Crossman Ultra Magnums. Now, looking at what's happened with the 18s on the 4th row, I'm going to have to drop a row, so shoot the row below, because one pellet's in the way. Or no, I could ignore that target actually. Yeah, no, I'll shoot the row I was going to shoot, and then I'll just shoot the first and the third target and miss the second one. I think that's what we do. Whoa, they didn't seem like they shot well. Okay, let's just check. Yeah, decot, safety on. So that's just done then, 35 yards. Let's check the target, shall we? So here's the results from the group test for my 4 chosen pellets at 35 yards. So starting off with the JSBs, two nice groups, one bit of a flyer there. Let's get my sizer out. Those 4 pellets, centre to centre 15. Yeah, centre to centre with that flyer 20 mil. This group here is definitely a 15mm group, so that's not bad at 35 yards. Moving down to the Accupells, we've got one serious flyer here. I don't know what happened there. You know, I didn't pull that shot or anything. That's either down to the pellet or a little power surge in the rifle, perhaps. I don't know, something like that. But looking at that group then, I mean, that there without that 5th one, that was looking pretty good, that group. And then we come to the second group and they scattered all over the place. I mean, that is just about 25mm, that group. The 4 pellets in there is a 20mm, so not quite as good as the JSBs. We come down to the H&N Baracuda 18s then, and we've got a line of 5 shots here, which is a bit odd. I mean, you know, if they're being affected by the wind, I would expect the line to be horizontal, but that's vertical, which is a bit strange. But looking at that, we've got a 20mm group there, and then we've got 2 pellets there, 2 pellets there, and 1 there. I mean, that you can see that's massive group. So I think, you know, I'm quite surprised at how quickly they dropped off there. I mean, perhaps it might be a worth another go with them later on, but that's a big change from 25 to 35 yards. Then we get down to the Crossmans. Now, looking at these pellets, the weight compared to the Accupells, the weight and the dimensions, I mean, if you put the 2 pellets side by side on the table and had a look at them, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So I think they're the same pellet, just been labelled up differently from, you know, for the different manufacturers. But certainly compared to the Accupells, the Crossmans seem to perform a little bit better. We've got this group here. We've got one shot that doesn't fit in the 15, so that's 20mm. And then we've got a nice group here, again 15, but with 1 errant shot. So that's a shame. But I looked online at the prices. The Crossmans and the Accupells are only £3 a tin cheaper than the JSBs if you shop around. I guess if you're on a budget, you might want to save that £3 a tin, you know, go with the Crossmans rather than the Accupells. But I think I'm quite happy to stick with the JSB Jumbos at the moment. I think looking at this, that's probably the best result overall. Say it is close with the Crossman, but I'm going to stick with my Jumbos until I find something else, or until I get a chance to, you know, if I do this in sterile conditions indoors, it might be a different result. We'll have to do that sometime. But for now, I mean, considering that I'm shooting outside and I already have experience of, you know, shooting these JSBs on a course where I was quite happy with my results. I mean, you know, as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So for now, I think I'll be sticking with these. Right, well, we're back at it then. And hopefully we've got the issues resolved that I've been experiencing. Did the pellet testing, everything was working fine, no problem. Took the scope off and put the NV500 digital day-night scope on, and came out here to try and zero it in, and the rifle was just really sort of playing up, shooting all over the place, couldn't make head nor tails of it. So I thought, well, get the chronograph out and put it through the chronograph, and the spread was like 40 feet per second or something. So anyway, did the usual things that you do when you know, when the muzzle velocity sort of like seems to be all over the place. I took the barrel off and give it a good clean. I think that's probably the first time I've cleaned the barrel. I guess I should have done it before now. Well, it's the first time I've cleaned it since I've had the rifle, so give it a good clean anyway. And then I also changed the breech seal, because I suspected that the breech seal might be a bit old, and that would affect the muzzle velocity a bit as well. So I did that. Tested the rifle again on the chronograph, still going all over the place. Anyway, turns out was using the FX Chrono, and it was the batteries. Even though the green light was on, showing that the batteries were good, they were obviously just on their last legs. Changed the batteries, everything seems to be sorted now. So made a bit of an adjustment to the regulator pressure. I think I'm down to sort of 85, 86 bars now. Seems to like that there. So we're going to try again to zero it in with the NV500. Still using Exact Jumbo pellets, it seems to like. But I've also bought, because of the results with the Crossmans, I bought a tin of those Ultra Magnums because I just had a little sample, so I didn't have that many. And these are like £3 a tin cheaper. So if these work, you know, saving a bit of cash, we'll see how these go. What else have I got? Oh yeah, bought a single shot loader. And I've got one of these, I thought I'd have a go at a 3D printed one, and I must say this one is very good quality. So we'll see how this works. If it works fine, I'll give you more details of that. So I'm going to record the shooting through the scope, so we'll crack on and see how we get on, shall we? I've already started zeroing this in a little bit, so we shouldn't be that far off. We're out at, I think we're at about 37 yards, so the pellet is going to open out a little bit. Right, so a little bit high and a little bit to the right. Called this. It's gone up high again. Right, still off to the right and up. Let's try the single shot loader. See if we get better results with that. Right. That looks more like it, doesn't it?
flyer there on the hole though. One more. Yep, that's on the money. Well, I've been fiddling about trying to zero up with the magazine, going backwards and forwards. As soon as I put the single shot loader on, just straight on the money, one flyer on that last group, but other than that it was fine. So let's have a quick switch over on the pellets and see how we get on with the Crossmans using the single shot loader. Bit spread out this group.
Right, I've moved back. We're back at 50 yards now, and I've got my rabbit head targets down there. What it is a sheet of A4 paper with two life-size heads of rabbits on. I know they're life-size because I actually drew around the rabbit's head to get the sizes, so just use them to make sure that the rifle will group sufficiently at this range to get sort of humane kill shot. So we'll give it a go, shoot the top one with the single shot loader, then I'll try the magazine, and then we'll try the Ultra Magnums and see how they compare. Right, switch to the mag.
A bit high.
Well, most of them are going in a general direction. A few flyers which are a little bit worrying. So let's switch pellets over. We'll shoot the bottom target, and we'll try these Crossmans. See how we get on with those. Yeah. I might have to aim off a little bit different with these, because obviously the ballistic calculator is set for the other pellets.
As long as they all go, as long as they all go in the same place. Ooh. Right, let's see if I can aim off a little bit to get these up higher. These actually look like they're working better actually. I'm having to hold over a bit extra to get them in target. One more.
There you go. Right, go and take a look at the target. Top target was the JSBs. Then you can see we had one flyer up the top there, and two that dropped a bit low. But generally, they're all in the area there. It's probably about 20 millimeter grouping, that main group there, and again there. So all in the kill zone anyway at 50 yards. And then we come down here. These were the first few shots, and then I held over, and we had a similar group at the top. So if the ballistic calculator is set up for the Crossmans, I think that they would work. So yeah, there you go then. Okay, well, let's wrap this one up then. If only you knew what a struggle I've had getting this video completed. This has probably been the most difficult one technically for me to make so far. Problems with the rifle, with the power and everything, but we get there in the end. So another thing that showed up on this is the difference in accuracy between the magazine and the single shot loader. I don't seem to have much luck with accuracy when I use the magazines in my rifles, but the single shot loader did the job. And I did mention this 3D printed one, and actually quite pleased with this. It seemed to work and perform quite well. Sits very snugly in the breech, and there's actually an O-ring in the pellet hole. So once you put your pellet in, it's not going to fall out if you tilt your rifle back and fall in the breech. So quite pleased with this actually, and I'd recommend this if you're looking for, you know, if you can't afford the prices of you know, sort of a manufacturer's one. This is made by a guy called John, Print 3D Concepts, and they're available for a number of different rifles on eBay, and I'll put you know, those screens up so you can see, and not a bad price, and say I'm very pleased with this. It seems to work quite well, and it's a very good design, very functional. So if you're after a single shot loader, check out Print 3D Concepts. So I've ended up with two pellets that I can use then in the rifle. We've got the JSBs, and surprisingly the cheaper Crossman Ultra Magnums came out pretty similar in performance actually. So certainly I'll be giving those a go on the rabbits. That's the next job now. The rifle's set up to go out and do a bit of nighttime shooting on the rabbits and see how I get on. So I know this was a long one. I hope you found some bits of it interesting and entertaining, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. So bye for now.